All right, so it's all a go.
Awesome, cool. That's really good to hear. We get to do it again. Only this time with Coffin Ghoul.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys never. This is Jesse. This is Coffin Ghoul, aka Adam. What's up, man?
What's up? So, well, let's get into things here, because we have plenty to discuss and talk about.
Absolutely. Awesome.
So, well, Doug, this is more or less mainly for you. Because I know about this time last year, still, we talked about, Restrained, and, talked about it coming out and everything else.
Yeah.
Kind of try to figure out how to really put it into words on how to, okay. Give us the recording process for it.
The recording process?
Yes.
Well, it was, there's a lot to it. It's, as far as, the quality of the recording, or do you want to know about, what exactly do you want to know about it?
Anything and everything, mainly,
Well, I had the idea after I got done with Talonbeck, I already had the next idea of what I wanted to record as far as, a theme and everything goes. And that was, the album cover kind of, speaks for itself there. That was the idea I had, the whole Insane Asylum type work, type of feel to it. Musically, I had no idea what I was really going to do. I had ideas, but I didn't really have an exact idea. I don't think many musicians really ever do, especially when you're going to do a second album, because it's in my opinion, it's easy to do a first album because it's your first album. There's nothing to one up. So with Talonbeck, I had something I had to try to one up. But my goal was really to create a different atmosphere from To Hell and Back. And that was creepy, dark, and just kind of scary in a way. I think you could pick up elements of that, when listening to Restrained. So that's pretty much, the process was just, it was a lot of experimenting and trying to veer away from the feel of the first album.
All right.
I hope that answers part of your question.
Well, yes, definitely. Because you can definitely tell the difference between both albums. So.
Yeah, and that's good. That's what I was going for.
So when it comes to Restrained, with all the songs that are on it, and all the song titles and everything else, were there themes behind, each song, or, meanings behind each song?
Yeah, there was a lot of different things happening. I kind of wanted it to be somewhat of a concept album, but it didn't really turn into that. It was more like a collection of songs, lyrics dealing with, insanity mostly. All of them relate to insanity in a big way. Just listening to the album and looking at the front cover, you can definitely feel that. So yeah, there's a lot of different songs on there. For instance, Nyctophobia, that has personal meaning, actually. It has to do with my sleep disorder, which is a fear of the dark that I have. And actually, throughout the recording process, this is very weird. Throughout the actual recording, it took me like 2 freaking years to record this just because, my family and stuff, never having time. When I recorded musically, it didn't take long at all. I breezed right through it. Everything came to me, and it was perfect. Locally, that's a whole different story. That took about a year. But the other year was there was just a lot of time. I had other things to do. But during the actual times I recorded and I was deep into it, especially lyrically, I had a lot of reoccurring nightmares, a lot of crazy stuff happening. I'd wake up in complete darkness and I would hallucinate. These are things a lot of people could probably relate to that are listening if they have any type of sleep problems,
Yeah.
Fear of the dark, it's kind of like I'm not actually like afraid of it, but it's like if I wake up in darkness, especially because I got to sleep with the TV on, I have to have sound. Most people do, with a fan or air conditioner or something like that. I have to have a TV. I got to have something going on. If I wake up in complete darkness, I have trouble knowing where I am. So during the recording process of this whole album, like I'd say for about a little more than a year, it kept happening. Where I would wake up in darkness, I'd see crazy things you wouldn't believe. Because, when you're in complete darkness, your mind could really play tricks on you, especially if you're waking up from a deep sleep and you don't know what the hell's happening. So nyctophobia has a lot to do with fear of the dark, and it's very personal to me. As far as, like, a lot of the other songs, like I said, they're all different, Jekyll and Hyde, that kind of speaks for itself, just kind of trying to get control of your own monster, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Because, a lot of the songs, I loved a lot of the songs.
Thank you.
They were really, I have to say, I was just like, wow. Because, when you, when you released Haunted Apparition and Bloodlust, I knew that this album was going to be, something, grand, but just didn't know the full extent until after you, originally released it, that this is better than what was expected it to be.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I was hoping, that people would like it, the whole album.
Oh, yeah. But the bonus track on the album, the final song on the album, Under the Horns, it's totally a different type of song. Would you kind of elaborate on, the bonus track?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The record label I was trying to at the time, Sky Blue Black Records, they wanted me to start playing live shows. I laughed at him, and and then he, the owner of the label, asked me if I would ever consider doing live shows by myself without anybody involved. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, how about like some acoustic stuff? Turn your music into acoustic, like just get out there, get your name out there. And again, I laughed, and I said, you're crazy, and I just kind of put that idea out the window. I threw it out the window. But as time went on, I thought about it, and while I was getting ready to record for the second album, I was fiddling around in the studio, and I decided to record Under the Horns from this song from Hallenbeck in acoustic kind of like way. Now, I wrote that song on acoustic guitar, actually, but I've never actually, at this time, I didn't actually play the song, to its fullness, to try to do it acoustically. So I hooked up my recording gear, and I recorded the guitar track, and then I thought I'd add some of my usual street type of vocals over it, just to see how it would sound. So I played it back, and, I added some reverb on the guitar and a little bit to the vocals, and made the atmosphere a little bit, a little creepy. I like reverb. It's like one of my favorite things to use, because it really does bring the atmosphere that I try to create. It really brings it out, really creepy vibe. So that's pretty much how like that song came to happen, and I just figured I'll throw it on there as a bonus track, and that's actually how we started playing acoustically. Was because of that song and listening to that song played back. I thought, wow, this actually doesn't sound that terrible. So so we did an acoustic show after that and started to play live, and there was actually talk of doing the third album acoustically, kind of like under the horns, but. I just figured I'd throw it on Restrained as a bonus track.
Well, it certainly was pretty good, so there you go. But let's talk about the shows that both of you ended up doing, or you guys ended up working on together.
Yeah.
Because you had the one show back in September.
Yep, that was the first.
The coffee house.
Yeah,
September. Yep.
Yeah, how was that one? Because that one seemed like it was pretty interesting.
You could watch the horrifying wretchedness of the. It was exciting. It was fun. It was a Christian coffee house actually, and the reason why we started, we played our first show there was just because, let's play it out and just get a feel for how it's gonna go and how it's gonna sound, and just see if it feels right. So we did, and there was a lot of technical difficulties with the sound guy. We had
a little bit.
The
video with my guitar.
Yeah.
Just a lot of difficulties, but I think it turned out all right.
It did. Unfortunately, the YouTube video had to. I think we cut out 3 songs because they just kept screwing it up so badly. But it was a good time. It was good for what it was.
It was definitely a learning experience.
Definitely,
it helped us get more in tune with each other. I think it helped us in the long run. So it was a good experience.
Definitely
getting us out there for the first time.
Awesome. Because when you guys announced that, I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Can't wait to see this, the stuff on this, and, and kind of, end up talking about it,
Yeah, definitely.
Because
we wish the video could have been better, though.
And then you guys had the radio broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that went a lot better.
Yeah, that was great.
That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
You know what? Why don't you share your experience with that? Because that was, something way completely different than most people usually do.
Sure. Yeah, it was a midnight thing, because the radio station, it's like a midnight to 6 in the morning show. And we just showed up with our guitars, with lots of blood. And a lot of blood. They just mic'd us in the room and threw us over the radio and played it back on how it was going to sound. And it sounded probably better than anything that I recorded.
Right.
They made us sound really good over the air. And then they recorded a video too and put it on the web page. But we hung out all the way until about 5 in the morning.
Around there, yeah. It might have been set up until they stopped broadcasting.
It might have been rain until 6.
Right, so yeah.
But what they did was they had us play 3 songs, and then they'd take a break for like an hour, and then we would go back on the air and play 3 more songs live, and then 4. I think we played 10 songs.
Something like that, yeah.
10 or 11 songs. So it was really good because it gave me a chance to rest up my vocals too each time. Because I was straining them pretty bad that night, but it still sounded pretty good. It was pretty fun.
Well, it definitely seemed like it. I mean, come on. I mean, it's kind of a different kind of performance than most people normally get.
And then just getting to hang out with the guys was really cool too. Just like chilling on the air and stuff and talking about nothingness.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
But that definitely seemed like one hell of a time, though.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So, I should probably ask both of you guys this, instead of just, you, Doug. Because I mean, I've probably asked you this plenty of times, and might as well ask both of you. You know, when it comes to everything, what are your guys' influences?
I'll let Coffin go answer this one first.
I mean, a lot of it, like, a lot of my musical influences, I guess, would be like Metallica, like kind of like oldies, like metal stuff. Metallica, Megadeth, things like that. Like that's the stuff I really started playing like when I was younger. And just what else? Like kind of Green Day, like punk and stuff like that too. And I don't know, just kind of a little bit of everything, just kind of for me. And then just kind of taking all of that and making it a little bit of my own style a little bit too.
Yeah, for me, blood and gore, everything. Blood and gore and death and horror and just wretched things that happen in life. As far as music goes, or musical, man, everything. I mean, I've been influenced for a long time. A lot of street punk and gutter punk bands earlier on. Although I'm not a fan of it really anymore. I get into more metal these days. But I mean, Cannibal Corpse has always been pretty influential. Is that a word? Influential to me. Ghoul, Guar, of course. Guar I've always loved. I still love them. And let's see, I don't know. There's so many different bands that influence me. Green Day would probably be one of them. Early today, I would say.
Yeah, not so much newer Green Day, but early like
Maybe Dookie and the Green Day before that. Yeah.
When they first came out.
Yeah. Municipal Waste, a lot of thrash stuff like Obituary. Even a lot of I get into a lot of doom metal and stuff too, which is cool. So yeah.
Wow, that's actually quite the diversity between the both of you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, to kind of like smash together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of awesome.
Oh yeah, that's one reason why I asked Coffin Bull if he was interested in helping me with Blast from Oblivion. I figured he'd bring a lot of stuff that's different and stuff that I'm not used to to the table, you know, when we were going to write new stuff. And that never happened, unfortunately. But in the future, we do have plans. We'll see what happens. I do want to have to work with you on a newer project, but we can get into that later if you want.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, Restrained is the final album under the Blast from Oblivion banner. Is there any talks of, you know, new music under something else by chance, or you know, something more musically?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. I'm thinking right now I've got the itch, so I really want to get back in and start writing some new stuff. But it's going to be really different from Blast from Oblivion. It's going to be I'm influenced by a lot of what do they call it? Suicidal, doom, depressive black metal. Like bands like bands like Ghost Bath. Advent Sorrow is one of my favorites right now. If you've never heard them, you've got to check them out. They create such a dark and gloomy, yet satisfying and kind of uplifting atmosphere. As weird as that sounds, they create like that type of like feel throughout their music, which is just amazing to me. So I kind of wanted to do something like that, but with my, you know, with our own kind of spin on it. Yeah.
All right. That's kind of awesome. I mean, are you guys, you know, if you guys do end up doing something, you know, sooner than later, you guys gonna go singles EP or full-on album right away?
Probably a little bit of all three, maybe.
Yeah, I think we'll release a song. Yeah, I'll be too excited, so I'll want to show people the first song that we do. Yeah. I like to do full albums, because anytime I write stuff, I always have so much material, and I always feel like it's going to go to waste if I don't release it right away. I'm very impatient, but you never know. It could be an EP to start with. You never know.
All right.
There's definitely going to be music, though.
Well,
There's definitely something. I mean, we've talked about it and stuff before, and we've thrown out ideas to each other. So it's definitely in the works, but when it's going to happen, we don't know yet.
Yeah, it's tough times right now.
Yeah.
Now here's a really good question for both of you, since you guys are so musically diverse. Dream Tour. It's you guys can either be under your up and coming project or under Blast from Oblivion, but 3 different artists that you would love to go on tour with if you had the chance.
Ooh, Coffin Gold will answer this one first.
Well, I mean, I've always loved the Dutch Sevenfold. That would be really cool. If I could even just hanging out with them would be really cool. And then probably, I actually do like Bless the Fall a lot. They're actually really good too. And probably Bullet from my Valentine. I really like a lot too as well. So probably those 3 would be really cool.
Yeah, for me, right now, there's so much, but I've got this obsession right now because I just finally listened to them. They've been around a while. Gojira.
Yes.
I play with those guys. I just started getting into them, and they are probably my favorite bands at the moment.
They're good. We were listening to it. It's really cool.
Yeah, they're really awesome, really talented guys, and they seem really friendly too. These are going down to earth guys that you can get along with on tour. That's something that is important to me. I've toured with a lot of bands before, and I've toured with some pretty unpleasant bands that make it not fun on tour. But I'd probably say Cannibal Corpse for the second one, just because again they're just really fun guys that just love the music and just seem like they, love the touring life. And for the third band, probably Ghoul. They just seem like they'd be crazy bunch of guys and just loads of fun. And if not, then it would at least be a killer show to watch them every night.
All right. Definitely good. Definitely, good, groups of bands for both of you guys. Especially Gojira. Let me just say, points for Gojira. Because I only got into them probably last year or something like that. Myself, only because of the fact of their song "Flying Whales."
Yeah. I just kind of knew them last week. And that was the first album I heard. Was the one with the whale on it.
Yeah. But all right. So, if you guys had to collaborate with somebody, who would it be?
Coffin Gold.
We had to collaborate with somebody. That is tough.
Alive or dead?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let me answer this first.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a good one. Right off the bat, if it was living or dead, it would be Dimebag Darrell. I could. He's just one of my all-time favorite guitar players, and I've heard so many stories about him in the past about how he was just such a fun guy to hang out with. Easygoing, makes you feel really comfortable. Hanging out with him, there would be always something to do. Even if there was nothing to do, he would make it fun. So collaborating with him, working together with him would just be a dream thing for me.
Now, for me, there's kind of 2 of them. I would really like to collaborate with. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go two of them. I'm gonna go with Kirk Hammett from Metallica. Has always been one of my favorite guitarists, just because like I grew up playing him, and studying him and stuff like that, and just learning all his solos and stuff. So I'd really like to sit down with him and collaborate on solo stuff with him. Then the other one would be Stephen Gates from Event Sevenfold, probably, because he seems same for the same reasons I was saying. He seems like a super cool guy, kind of down to earth, and just like all the interviews I've seen, he looks like the nicest guy ever, and just seems like it would be really cool to play with him. So yeah, those two.
I'd want to hang out with Kirk Hammett and just talk horror. Exactly. He's got quite the collection. He came out with that book. Horror. Yeah, exactly. That's a song. Because they're Mrs. fans, I'm guessing he got it from there. But yeah, he's got quite the collection, and I would love to talk to him about that.
I can't blame you. So,
That was just good. They've been around for so long too. Like just getting to work with like seasoned veterans of like metal, basically, would be really cool. Just to hear his experiences and stuff like that.
It would be an honor and a privilege.
Yeah.
well, yeah. Well, I guess more or less I'd have to ask Doug this. If you could write for a horror movie, basically either the film score or basically, write specific songs for it, which type of horror movie would you do?
I feel like we were just talking about this earlier.
Because there's plenty to choose from technically.
Man, I don't know. It would probably be an action / splattery gore type of movie. Like something like Hatchet. A movie like that would be phenomenal. What was it? It's either the second or the third one. I think it starts off with a Guar song. So a movie like that would just be wicked fun to write to. Because I could write what I love to write. Mostly, which is metal. I could write a lot of other stuff too, but that would just be it for me. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So, man, it's like I'm stumped. It's like, what do I ask next? No, I'm kidding. So, do you guys have nothing planned for, up and coming besides the potential project?
Right.
Yeah, nothing. Just ideas.
Because, the world needs music. Music is always good at any time. But, I forget what I was just gonna... I was just gonna ask something. I completely, drew a blank. Crap. Man. Oh, God. Now I can't remember it. God. How about this? How about this? Would you rather play a big stadium or you'll basically play in a bar or a house show?
Personally, I'd rather play a bar or a house show.
I'd rather play a bar too, yeah.
Just because it's up close and more personal and more real feeling to me. Playing a stadium with like thousands, millions of people, just wouldn't feel, real. And I think a lot of people miss out on shows like that too. Like you see Iron Maiden, and don't get me wrong, it's Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
It's great to go see them no matter how many people are there, but that guy all the way in the back isn't getting the same experience as the guy all the way in the front.
That's true.
So you play like a smaller show, almost everybody gets almost everyone goes home like 100% happy.
Well, yeah, you kind of nailed it right on the head with that kind of a atmospheric approach.
Yeah.
Almost remembered the question I was going to ask you. Ask you guys. Um, from both of you, what is your top pick that everybody needs to listen to right now?
Top pick. I don't really know. I haven't been listening to that much, honestly, to tell you the truth.
So one band.
Yeah, 1, 2. Doesn't really matter.
The one album I always go back to is Hail to the King from well, it's not their newest. I didn't actually really like their new album, The Stage, but Hail to the King is like what I've been really listening to now. So yeah, I would go either Hail to the King, From Hail to the King, or Shepherd of Fire.
All right.
I got three, and it's gonna completely throw people off. One of them. Oh shoot, I forgot it. Okay, so the other two. One of them is Fallujah. It's called. Their newest album. Yeah, I just picked up the album and I got back into this shit. I think it's the album is Nameless, I believe it's called. I'm not sure, but they're a really fun band. The other one, believe it or not, the new Deftones, the album Gore, the one with all the flamingos on it. That album, I used to hate the Deftones with a burning passion because I did not like Chino's vocals. But if you can get past that, and I don't know, I think I matured as time went on. So that's from kind of weird stuff. So, but his vocal performance is the best I've ever heard on that album. It's just the atmosphere they create is just something that nobody in the entire world could create. The Deftones are their own sound, and that album alone, people to definitely hear. And any Gojira album.
Well, you're not wrong about Gojira, so.
Yeah.
So, you really aren't. But all right. Such a, again, such diversity. Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got a lot of influences, but it's weird. Whenever me and Coffee were here, we're trying to write stuff. We always tried to keep our heads clear from like being influenced by something else because we wanted to create something different.
Right.
And I think we only wrote one stuff. Well, I think I wrote it. And then you were going to jump in later on,
right?
Your own part, but it never
what we
happened.
were working on, yeah.
And that was Brutality.
Yeah.
And that one you can only hear on a YouTube video for live room. And somewhere at the radio station, like through, I bet somewhere out there. I'm sure it might be on YouTube, probably. But yeah, it was never recorded, but we wrote it.
All right. Would it be something that you guys would probably, actually sit down and record?
I think so, probably.
Might be something we go back to.
Yeah. Might change it up a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like a real treat then.
Yeah, it's something to start with.
So, well, always got to start somewhere.
Yeah, literally.
So, when it comes to Restrained and Hell and Back, we can still get them from Skyburn Black Records, right?
Yep, you can order them from there, or you can. I have the CDs as well. I have a whole shit ton that I got to get rid of. So whoever wants an album can message me personally on Facebook, and I have a lot of the merch and stuff too. I got posters. There's a Restrained poster of the album cover. That's wicked cool.
Yeah, I have to say that poster-wise, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really, really bright and vibrant. It just looks cool. So yeah, you can get the album from me or from Skyburn Black Records, or if you're a digital freak, which unfortunately most people are these days, It's on iTunes and probably listen to it on Spotify and all the major distros you can find them on.
All right. Also, too, is the band page on Facebook still up?
Yep.
Okay, so they can find you through that too, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll keep the Facebook up, just because down the road you never know. But right now it's a no. Classical Oblivion is,
Because that was actually going to be my next question for you: is will we see another release, possibly from Blast from Oblivion, sometime down the road? No matter if it's 5 years or 10, 15, 20.
Probably not under the same name.
I mean, you never know. The possibility is there, but as of right now, I'm going to say no, just because of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, that's completely understandable. That's very completely understandable. So.
But there's always that possibility.
Well, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Thanks for at least taking the time out to talk about Restrained, the shows, and well, everything else.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah. Yep, and it took several years for Restrained to finally come out. So.
Yeah. It took some time, but I made sure it happened.
Oh. But thanks, Doug. Thanks, Adam, for this last and bittersweet interview.
You're welcome, man. No problem. Our pleasure.
So, but hopefully in the nearby future, I can both get you guys again for another sit-down interview talking about your guys' next project.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So, but thank you.
See what happens.
Well, yes. But thank you so much, and, well, I'll hear from you guys again, sometime in the future.
Sounds good, man.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
See ya.